Hi, and thanks for checking out this installment of Worldwide Wide-Eyed. I'm Scott Bergstein. I am a writer, a humorist, an observer, an inventor of words, a travel junkie, and an agitator. I live in a small town in southern Italy and in a large city in Southeast Asia. Along with my wife, the intrepid photographer Jessica Kaup, I travel the world looking for inspiration, and I find it everywhere we go. We're constantly amazed by the colors, the harmonies, and the flavors of the places we visit and the people we meet. We bring you our experiences through Jessica's photographs and my words. Welcome to our world. I grew up in a small town in central Pennsylvania in the United States. Chances were pretty good there that if you stood at a street corner waiting to cross, an oncoming car would stop and the driver would wave you on. It was hard then for me to get used to a traffic environment where the only consideration a pedestrian gets from the driver of an automobile is how much damage will be done to his car should he decide to take you out. If the conclusion is very little damage, which it almost always is, then the person thinking about stepping into the street had better know of this calculus. Being a pedestrian is one of Jessica and my favorite things. We love to walk wherever we go. In fact, we don't even own a car. And if we did, we wouldn't venture to drive it in Kuala Lumpur, where we spend most of our time. First of all, the people there drive on the wrong side of the road, although the Brits would take issue with that contention. The drivers who sit on the wrong side of the car, and which is another point my British friends may beg to differ, but then there's the horrendous traffic and the lack of anything even remotely resembling a grid system. For us, it's go bipedal all the way. But walking as a means of transportation is not without its own challenges. In Rome, for example, there's one particularly nasty and incessantly busy intersection devoid of any traffic control device whatsoever. Roman pedestrians manage the problem by simply taking off for the opposite side of the four-lane boulevard and trusting that the cars, trucks, and motorbikes bearing down on them will slow down, stop, or swerve sufficiently to avoid the kind of carnage and bloodshed once witnessed in the nearby Colosseum. It kind of reminds me of this. In Bangkok, the life expectancy of a pedestrian is inverse to the number of motorbikes that line up the intersections like Formula One cars at the start line of a Grand Prix, revving their engines and waiting for the white flag to drop. Well before the light turns green, the riders spur their transports into action and burst into the crossing. Woe be the poor soul on two legs who happens to be in the path of this phalanx when the two-wheelers take off like a herd of angry wildebeests. No obstacle is sufficiently important to slow the onslaught. You're certainly not. In Kuala Lumpur, motorbikes are the main predator of pedestrians, but there it's because the bikers have redefined sidewalks into parking lots for bikes and traffic avoidance routes. On the frequent occasion that a motorcycle rider wants to go in a direction in conflict with a one-way street, he simply uses the sidewalk as a contra-lane. So the wary pedestrian has to watch for traffic not only on the roadways, but on the sidewalks as well. There's a t-shirt that's very popular in Vietnam. On it is the picture of a traffic light. And next to the green light it says, "Green means I can go." Next to the yellow light it says, "Yellow means I can go." And next to the red light it says, "Red means I can still go." This isn't a joke. This is a warning. Thanks again for tuning in to Worldwide Wide-Eyed. For more of our travel adventures, go to www.worldwideeyed.com. See you around the world.